Just pulling in at Hillside Memorial Park. This is a Jewish cemetery. Jack Benny's in here. We'll start out with him and walk around and see who else we can find. Welcome to Famous Graves with Diamond Dave. Thanks for spending the time to watch this video. Please watch it all the way through. I'd really appreciate it. In fact, it would mean the world to me because it'll help me.
Take the next right.
It'll help me with YouTube. Okay, let's get into it. This is the main mausoleum here at Hillside Memorial Park. There's an elevator, so it's 2 stories. I believe just to the right should be Jack Benny. Yes, comedian Jack Benny, legendary comedian. It looks like he gets plenty of visitors. Do you remember the Jack Benny show?
Pardon me, but are you just starting one of our courses?
Yeah.
Well, I'm the official photographer. I'd like to take your picture for the before and after ads, if you have no objection.
The before and after?
That's right.
Oh, I don't mind. No.
Would you mind stepping up here, please?
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you know, I'm taking a 6-week course here, you see. When do you take the after picture?
Right away.
Oh, you do.
Get you in there.
This is the silliest thing that I've ever heard of. I mean, taking it... Send me a dozen.
Jack's hard to beat. Love the reruns. This is the first mausoleum that I've been in that has carpeting flooring. These walls look like mahogany or cherry. Just beautiful in here. Just outside the mausoleum, the main entrance, where the grave is Suzanne Plagette of the Bob Newhart Show, one of my favorite 70s television programs, and she was one of my favorite actresses. Played the part of Emily, Bob Newhart's wife. Married Tom Poston, and he's right here, close by. Tom Poston also was in a Bob Newhart program as well. They're both buried here at Hillside Memorial Park. This is in Culver City, California. Our next stop is an entertainer comedian that started in show business at age 5. He was in show business for over 80 years. We're at the grave location of Milton Berle. In 1951, he signs a 30-year contract with NBC for $1 million per year. Now this is 1951. That's a whole lot of money. He also performs in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, the Sands, and the Desert Inn. Uncle Milty, a funny guy. Next up is a Mike Tyson connection. Yes, right here we have Jim Jacobs. He, along with Bill Caton, co-managed Mike Tyson's career. They brought him along slowly as a young man. They would hand select the opponents, and he'd fight about once a month. They developed him into a champion. Jacob is also a world champion, 6-time world champion handball player. He and Bill Caton has the world's largest boxing film library. I believe Bill Caton's still alive. Jim Jacobs. This is the main entrance to the cemetery. If you come over to block 4, just off the road, you'll find an individual that started a hot dog business in 1939. We're at the grave location of Paul Pink. He started out as a pushcart business downtown Los Angeles during the Depression. He survived that, and then in 1946 he made enough money to build a building at the current location. Check out this simple menu. It's quite a celebrity hangout too. Some of the hot dogs are now named after celebrities, and some of them are buried in this cemetery. Actually, the location isn't all that far from here, so I think I'll stop by for a quick lunch. Next stop is a well-lit Vulcan. Well admired. Looks like he gets plenty of visitors. Leonard Nimoy. Spock. So I'll zoom down because of the shadow. I remember one episode when Captain Kirk said to Spock, "Hey, you're almost human." And Spock says, "Please don't insult me." I think this is Larry King over in the corner where the baseball hat is. JJ117, Larry King. In my opinion, he's the best interviewer ever. Because to me, a good interview is when the interviewee does all the talking. Larry King was a master at asking open-ended questions, such as, "Tell me about this. What was your experience with that?" Larry King was the best. He would script his first question only. After that, he just let it flow. He just let it take a natural course. And they're always so entertaining too. Did a fine job. Larry King Live, I catch interviews on YouTube. I like to watch them. He's had Elvis Presley people on. Elvis's ex-girlfriends, plural. JFK people, true crime stuff such as Charles Manson and Hillside Stranglers, and always very entertaining. So when I got some free time, which is rare, I'll click on a YouTube video that Larry King has conducted an interview. Always entertaining. The best. Looking for David Janssen. I see him already. Let's see up above here. George Jessel, Toastmaster General. If you want to learn how to public speak, attend one of those meetings. But here we go, David Janssen. Janssen is originally from Nebraska. His father was a banker, and his mother was Miss Nebraska, a real beauty. He was voted number 36 of the top 50 actors of all time. Janssen was a heavy drinker and a smoker, smoking up to 4 packs of cigarettes per day. He dies February 13th, 1980 of a heart attack at the young age of 48. These are unique. They have a storefront door, and then the interment's inside. Glass doors. Down on the end is Michael Landon. Little Joe, Little House on the Prairie. I believe my hand is bigger. I'm thinking of the Bonanza theme song. We're going to stop by and visit the grave of Jerry Weintraub. Jerry Weintraub had a pretty good shot at becoming Elvis's manager. Elvis would get mad, or Elvis's people would get mad at the Colonel. And there was talk that Jerry was going to take over as his manager. But the Colonel stayed up all night typing up a separation agreement. And Elvis would owe the Colonel over $1 million in a settlement. As soon as Vernon heard of this, he nixed the idea. Colonel Parker continued to be his manager. You know, some Hollywood people, famous people, have just a simple stone in the ground, and others plan something more elaborate. Okay, let's keep moving. Just inside the door to the right, I believe, is Aaron Spelling. Yes. Aaron Spelling.
When we pitched this idea to Barry Diller, it was called Alley Cats. And he said, you should be ashamed of yourself. 3 gorgeous girls and alley cats, no. Well, we wrote the script anyway, and then Barry left, and Fred Silverman came in to ABC, and he said, you know, I read a script. And I'll tell you how we changed the name to Charlie's Angels. We hired Farrah Fawcett, who had done a movie for us called Murder on Flight 101, and she played an airline stewardess with few lines, but something about her just impressed us. We read Jacqueline Smith in my office, at 20th, and Len and I really liked her, and she was rushing off to do another interview at Universal. And so we just said, no, you're hired. So
Book
she
her, huh?
wouldn't leave, and then the last one was Kate Jackson, who had been our rookies. We put her, and so we were talking to her and said, we don't have a title yet. The network doesn't want to call it Alley Cats. And we thought it was just a joke we use that. And she said, well, the guy on the phone, his name is Charlie, that they don't know. And we said, yes. He says, why don't you call it Charlie's Angels? And we looked at her and said, why did you say that? He said, Aaron, right on the wall behind you, there's a picture of angels. And there had to be a picture of 3 angels. This was the ex-Frank Sinatra office, and he had left that little painting there that I never took down. And that's how the title came.